Hello and welcome everyone to another Fantasy Premier League video. My name is Mo and this is my channel FPL Inkling. Today I'll be going through the best budget keepers in my opinion. So the budget we're going to keep for the budget keepers is going to be £4.5 million maximum. So that's what they've been priced at this season. What we'll do is we'll go through some insights of fixtures at the start of the season for them, what makes them attractive from last season in terms of their performance, looking a bit deeper into their points per game and kind of their outputs in terms of clean sheets, who's been brought in, who's not been brought in, and we're going to look at all that in today's video. So what we'll do is before we begin, we'll go through the order in reverse order. So we'll start with number 4 and then we'll end up with number 1 at the start. So at number 4, the first budget goalkeeper I'm going to be going through is Karl Darlow. Now, Karl Darlow is currently at Newcastle. So Newcastle last season had him and Dubravka. They kind of split the season into like 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 to Darlow, who's kind of like their main keeper, but then I think he had a bit of an injury spell. And Dubravka came in, who didn't actually do too bad either, to be fair. But he's priced at 4.5 mil. I'm pretty certain he still is going to be their first choice in terms of their goalkeeper. And we're going to go through a bit of underlying stats for him. So last season he played 2,250 minutes, kept 4 clean sheets and got 6 bonus points along with 88 saves as well. So obviously per 3 points, you usually get a keeper gets a point extra. But that doesn't mean that he's got those 3 points in every single game. So some games he could have got like 5 saves and he's got 1 point. And other games he could have got 9 and got 3 points, the maximum he could have got for those number of saves. So if we look a bit more deeper into the kind of like points per game that he got last season, so Darlow was averaging 3.2 points per game, which to be fair for a Newcastle side, it's not ideal. I mean, if you're going to be spending around 4.5 mil on a goalkeeper, you will probably want something which is kind of touching around that, above the 3.7, 3.8, maybe even 4. So last season, for example, when I went to Martinez, he was averaging over like 5 points per game nearly by the end of the season. So it's not really ridiculous right under the line. So you need to get into a squad where you reckon the keeper can have an impact and you have a good defence in front of you. If you were to generally ask me right now, do I believe that Newcastle have strengthened their defence or they're looking any more stronger? Not in my opinion. They're not looking any stronger. If anything, I think this will probably be kind of like a similar output in terms of Karl Darlow in terms of Newcastle as well over this season. So I would avoid him personally because I think there are better options at 4.5 mil, which we'll go through today as well. So let's look at his fixtures. So we'll go through what we'll do. We'll break it down to 5 game week fixtures. All right. So for the budget keepers, we're going to go through the first 5 game weeks. So to be fair, Newcastle, they don't really look like that much of great fixtures in terms of in terms of being like something which they can approach with a bit of ease of mind. Barring game week 3 where they've got Southampton at home, they all look pretty challenging. West Ham at home, first game of the season. Aston Villa away, which will be a tough game. Manchester United in game week 4 at Old Trafford. And then they're playing Leeds at home in game week 5. So there's some tough fixtures there. So personally, it might not be the ideal start to go with Karl Darlow. So that's why he comes in at number 4 for me in terms of the top keepers for 4.5 million budget. At number 3, it's Alex McCarthy. He's from Southampton. So at the moment, he's selected by 2.2% of managers so far in the FPL managers that have registered for the game at this moment of when I'm making this video. Priced at 4.5 mil, which makes him a budget keeper. Number 1 at Southampton. So last season he played 2,700 minutes with 94 points with 7 clean sheets. 8 bonus points with 93 saves he made overall. His average per game was 3.13 points per game, which is slightly lower than Darlow, which again I wasn't too impressed by. But Southampton did not have a great season last season. Do I expect better? If you look at his stats from the seasons before, he got 94 points last season, 104 the season before, and 73 the season before. So personally, I don't really expect him to get anything more than around, anywhere averaging between 80 to 100 points. Do I believe there's better options? Of course I do, but in my plans, I don't actually have McCarthy in any of my drafts, and I don't think I'll be going for him. And if you look at his first 5 game week fixtures, he's got Manchester United in game week 2. Game week 5, he's got Manchester City away. In between that game week 1, he's got Everton away, Newcastle away in game week 3, and West Ham at home. So there's some very difficult fixtures there. Not to say he can't get any clean sheets or any points for the saves he makes there, but ideally there will be keepers out there which will have a slightly smoother start or I reckon we'll have a slightly stronger defence in front of them to ensure that they keep clean sheets for those games at the start. And number 2 is Crystal Palace's Vicente Guaita, I think that's how you pronounce it. Selected by around 6% of managers already, 4.5 mil price, which makes him a budget keeper. 124 points last season. So in terms of the points wise, 8 clean sheets, 107 saves with 15 bonus points. Now he averaged 3.35 points, so slightly higher than the other 2 goalkeepers that I've just mentioned. Again, it's pretty much consistent with the season before of what he achieved. Do I think he's going to do better this season? Pretty much think he might stay around the same mark because they've got a new manager in Patrick Vieira. In terms of defence, they haven't really got any new defenders in, so it'll be worthwhile seeing how they play, A, under new management, and B, with the crowd back in the stadiums this season. So that's why he might be considered. I've not looked at him personally, but the reason why he's not kind of confirmed, despite him having good numbers from last season, let me show you his first 5 game week fixtures. He's got Chelsea away, which is a difficult game at Stamford Bridge, Brentford at home, which I think will be manageable because they're a promoted club, then West Ham away, Tottenham home, and Liverpool away. So there's some real solid fixtures there for Crystal Palace. It's not going to be an easy start for Patrick Vieira. There might be some really good save points to come along because there's going to be quite a few shots pointed at him, but will he get a clean sheet? It'll be a phenomenal effort if he does, not to say he can't. But I generally do believe that, they are some difficult fixtures. And if I can, maybe game week 11 onwards, he seems a bit more smoother in terms of the greens that come along. But otherwise, it's not a good start. I mean, with a goalkeeper, for me, if you put them in game week 1, pretty much stick with them for the rest of the season. A bit like Martinez, how I did last year. At number 1 for a budget goalkeeper who's in my drafts, and he's pretty much been in almost every single draft that I've made, is Robert Sanchez from Brighton. He's already owned by a mammoth 27% of managers, so the most highly owned keeper by every manager who's registered for this game this year. 4.5 mil, which again puts him in the budget bracket. 101 points last season, so less than Guaita, but he played a little bit less than him as well. So only 2,430 minutes, 10 clean sheets, 66 saves with 8 bonus points, and his points per game is the highest out of all the 4 keepers that I'll discuss in this video. He got 3.74. Do I believe that it's going to get better this season? I think it could. Will he have a stronger defence in front of him? If they lose Ben White, then I think it might be a case that, if Ben White goes to Arsenal, which I think the deal's going on at the moment, then it'll be interesting to see how Brighton cope. But otherwise, in terms of shot stopping last season, from what I saw from this guy, he was phenomenal, brilliant. He came in at the right time, took over, the back line, led it from the front, and has a real good presence in the goal for Brighton. So that's why, for me, in terms of the budget keeper, I agree with those 27% of managers and other experts at the moment who have kind of given him the nod. He is the keeper for the best budget keeper, and I think if he's going to go into my draft, which he is at the moment, he pretty much will stay for all the season. And not to forget his fixtures, from all the keepers that I've listed, this is, for me, slightly better, or probably the best in terms of difficulty-wise. Yes, he's got Everton in game week 3, and he's got Leicester at home in game week 5. But Burnley away, first game, Watford at home, second game, and Brentford away in game week 4. So he's playing 2 out of the 3 promoted clubs from last season that are coming up from the Championship. So that's what makes him so much more enticing, and definitely something that people are going to keep a lookout for in terms of fixture difficulty and how his form was last season. I generally believe that he's the best shout in terms of budget keepers, and this is someone who I'm definitely keeping an eye out, and he's already in my drafts, guys, so I don't expect to change him unless there's another signing that comes in, and I think that that's a better alternative. But at the moment when I'm making this video, he is going to be the best budget keeper that we have. So what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts on the budget keepers that I've gone through? Were these the keepers you're looking at? Have I made things a bit more simple for you guys? Have I complicated it? Let me know. Drop me a comment. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, guys, this is the moment. Hit that subscribe button. Help me grow the FPL Inkling channel. If you haven't joined the league, all you got to do is pop that league code at the bottom left. Join the FPL Inkling League on the Fantasy Premier League website. In addition, if you've liked this video, please hit that like button, and if you want the latest notifications for when I do release my content, then it's all you have to do is just simply hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as I do release my content. My social media is on the bottom, guys, so if you want to get in contact with me, let me know what I can help you with, and if you've got any specific content you want me to cover, I'll make sure I can make that for you guys. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys soon.